Sawasdee krab. Hello and welcome to today's edition of ASEAN Talks on ASEAN TV. My name is Varin Sachadev. I'm your host for today's edition when we feature the event known as i-CREATE, and this is going to be the fifth of its kind. It stands for International Convention for Rehabilitation, Engineering and Assistive Technology. In short, i-CREATE 2011. It's going to be held in Bangkok this coming July 21st to July 23rd. This is a collaboration between Singapore and Thailand, and joining me in the studio to tell us more about the background of i-CREATE and the highlights of this year's event are Chairman of the Board of NECTEC, which is the National Electronic and Computer Technology Center in Thailand, Professor Dr. Phairat Thachiyapong, and Professor Ang Wai Tek. He's the chairman of Singapore Therapeutic, Assistive and Rehabilitative Technologies, or known as START Center in Singapore. Please join me in welcoming two gentlemen to the show. Sawasdee krab. Sawasdee krab. Welcome to Thailand, Professor Ang.
Thank you.
The background of i-CREATE, it was founded back in 2007. What was the vision then when it was founded?
It was in 2007, Professor Ang came to see us, and then at NECTEC, and we were discussing about its possibility of organizing this, this kind of you call convention or conference. This is for the benefit of this region, because in assistive technology or rehabilitation engineering, mostly done very advanced in Western country or developed country, but in this region, especially in ASEAN, it's still we're quite behind. And in terms of technology, it's expensive, and also culture, how we use it, and so on, how we rehab it. So the idea is how to gather academic knowledge and do research in this region, and then how to transfer this knowledge to commercialization. That's the idea. Then to do that, we need this conference or convention, so that we can gather researcher, academician to present their research results. But not only that, we also have practitioners, people who know rehabilitation, come and do the workshop on the real practice. And then we also invite exhibitors, company not only in this region, but on the advanced country where they come from, so that people in this region know about the state of the art of technology. And the one that very highlights of this convention is we call Student Design Challenge. The idea is that we invite students in university, not only in ASEAN, but in Europe or in United States to join us. Send their design of technology, could be prototype of this assistive technology, and it has been very favorite. Where people like it. Dr. Ang can tell more about this competition. And I like to highlight also that we have received the kindness of Her Royal Highness, Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn of Thailand. She attends all this conference, inaugurated every year since 2007. Even last year when we went to China, she also went to China, and she loved it. And she always have this conversation, interaction with everyone, including the student, on this display of their design. And she has done a lot to i-CREATE to promote it.
Well, Her Royal Highness is your student back in school, so you can tell us more, why is Her Royal Highness so interested or so keen on...
I wouldn't say she was my student, but I work for her.
Oh, okay.
But she's so keen because, as you know, Her Royal Highness always worked for the underprivileged. When I say underprivileged, I mean people in rural areas, people who children who are sick in hospital, or people or students in rural schools, including the people with disabilities. She has a passion for this, and this is good for Thailand and this region also. Say, for example, we have kids that were born without legs, without arms, and you have no way of fixing the prosthetic legs or arm to these kids. But then she sent this challenge to us. We are people from university, from research agency like NECTEC. So we went down to see the cases, and now she had about four kids, the young baby, which is appeared on the news about 2 or 3 weeks ago in southern part of Thailand, about 11 years old, were born without legs and limbs. But the eldest one is now attend university in Prince of Songkhla University. This is very good, when people were born with disability. You might have thought that the girl would be burden to the society. But now once she know how to use this assistive technology, she know how to use IT for her classes, and know how to live independently. Now she will be, in 4 years, she'll be graduated with sufficient knowledge, good knowledge of university, and then she can earn her living. Now she turned from a burden into asset of the society. This is the idea of Her Royal Highness. How to turn these people into, not to be burdened, but into asset of the society.
Before we get into more details and highlights, perhaps I'd like Professor Ang to give us a very common understanding of the very difficult technical term to many, the rehabilitation engineering or assistive technology. In common terms, what do they mean?
Right. So these are the technologies for people with disability in general. So assistive technology and rehabilitation engineering, there's a fine line and very distinctive difference between the two. Assistive technology is mainly to help people to not to regain the lost function, but to help them to perform functional tasks. Say, for example, is you have no fine control of your upper limbs, so can you have some special spoon that can help you eat your food? So that piece of equipment is an assistive technology. It's not going to help you to regain your lost function, but it's going to help you to perform the functional task better.
It assists you.
It assists you, in a nutshell. But rehabilitation engineering is an engineering effort, a piece of technology to help you to regain or to rehabilitate whatever that's been lost. Say you injured your leg, for example, you go through rehabilitation, you walk a lot, do exercises, and you regain your function. So people have been doing that in the traditional way, the hard laborious way. So now how can technology help in that sense as well? So both are for people with disability, but there's a distinctive, although fine difference between the two.
Well, this is a collaboration between Thailand and Singapore, and ironically, we had a very huge story of a teenager in the train accident in Singapore. I'm sure this will be discussed at length at this convention as well.
She will come. She will come.
She is attending.
She will attend.
Yeah, see. So how advanced is the knowledge in these fields in our region?
Well, in terms of research, we still have a lot of catching on to do compared to the best in the world right now. But I think in the past few years, we are making good progress. what's stopping us from doing as good as the advanced country right now, I think, is the whole environment. What I meant is this. It has to be a healthy ecosystem for this thing to grow. For the longest time in this part of the region, it's done in a charitable way. Someone needs this thing, okay, let's just find some resources to help this person. One off, you give this person something, and that's it. So let's say, I'm a professor myself, so I do a lot of projects to help certain individual. My student has done this project, the student left behind a report that's not so good. 1 or 2 years after the thing break down, the person called me, Professor Ang, can you come and service this thing? My student has left. So the person to service this thing, my job is to be a professor. I don't go down there to repair this thing. 1 time, 2 times. After a few times, it becomes like a burden to me as well. I want to help, but it becomes that I'm obligated to do things that are out of my job scope. So this is hard. This model will not make us grow. So we have to find a model that will make this thing grow by itself. So if you look at the model in the West, it is a healthy system. So they make it in a way that there is money to be made. So
commercialize it.
So the service provider, they make money from you. They're obligated to provide service. And if there are money to be made, so competition will come in. With competition, the price will be lowered. In the end, everybody wins. But in this part of the world, we already find that things are so expensive.
Yeah, but then again, when it's commercialized, then the ethics becomes an issue. It could be, you know.
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think so. This is the primary goal is to help these people. So I don't think there is a conflict between ethics or not. So I think there is a win-win situation that we can go about doing this thing in the right way. So we're promoting very hard student design challenge. We hope that some of this design that's solving the problem in this part of the world would eventually make it to the market. So hopefully, people take this idea on and then commercialize it, replicate this thing, push it out to the world. So the student make money, the faculty make money, everybody happy. Let's
what
invest
I meant
in more
was
things.
access of those patients looking for help, and if they cannot afford it, then once it's commercialized.
I like to add that to Professor Ang, you have to make it commercialized. And then people who would like to donate, who would like to make it cheaper, then it could come from foundation. Otherwise, you can't make it sustain.
Yeah.
It could come from insurance. It could come from people who have good mind, like to donate. So that work together.
Yeah. So how is the collaboration taking place between NECTEC in Thailand and then START in Singapore? Only 2 countries to begin with? And why did you come to Thailand, Professor, for this project?
It dated back to 2006, where me and my colleagues, we wrote a proposal to the EDB, Economic Development Board of Singapore. So we proposed the idea of taking on assistive technology and to grow it into a healthy industry. So they accepted the proposal, gave us a grant. So we used the grant to set up a START center at a time. So then I knew a colleague in NECTEC, Ms. Watani. At that time, she was a director of Assistive Technology Center. I came over with my colleagues, and then we talked to her. We have this idea to run this conference to promote this area in this part of the world. She said, yeah, we've been trying to get money to run this thing for the longest time.
So it's match made in heaven.
Right,
it's a win-win.
They said, yes, now my government give me a sum of money to do this thing. So that day, she was so excited. She said, let me bring you to see Professor Pairat. At that time, he was launching his book. I think it's on the Einstein's theory.
Einstein's theory,
right?
A different story, yes.
Right.
But,
that's another story.
But it's a coincidence. I mean, it's not a coincidence when things happen for a reason.
Professor Pairat heard the story. He liked it so much. He said that Her Royal Highness would love to have this thing held here. So, and then one thing led to another. We have this thing first year, second year, third year, fourth year. We're here.
It's coincidence because we have been working for Her Royal Highness long before that. Just fit in.
Yeah,
Just fit in.
Yep. And now it's the 5th year in the making. We've been talking to Chairman of the Board of NECTEC and Chairman of START Center in Singapore on the i-CREATE 2011, the International Convention for Rehabilitation Engineering and Assistive Technology. When ASEAN Talks returns, we will look into the highlights of this year's events.